It's now been claimed that the Russians want to put nuclear weapons in space. And this is a really big deal because nuclear weapons in space could be used to take out our power grid. They could do things far worse than dropping them on Earth. They could take out our power grid, or in some lower level of escalation, they could take out our satellites. We're going to talk all about this. But this comes from House Representative, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, no less, Ohio Congressman Republican Mike Turner. And what he said is that he had made all the information of this available to members of Congress concerning this very serious national security threat. And he further went on to say, I'm requesting that President Biden declassify all information related to the threat so that Congress, the administration, and our allies can openly discuss these matters and respond to this threat. Right now, this is classified. They got a briefing on this. Jake Sullivan had briefed the committee of 8, which is the 8 top Congress people in the House and Senate about this. And now he's making statements because he's kind of surprised that Mike Turner came out with this. But there had been rumors earlier there was something big brewing. This all came out today, this very morning. My friends, I've talked to you a lot about the prospects for what a nuclear weapon detonated at 100 miles high over the United States, over Omaha, Kansas, in the area could do. Take out our entire power grid, take the continental United States, take out the power grid, and lots of Canada, and even down in Mexico. Now, and I further have pointed out that it's been pointed out from the late, great Dr. Peter Vincent Pry that an EMP attack on America is, in the doctrine of the Russian military, not considered to be a nuclear attack. It's considered electronic warfare because it does not directly hit anyone, nor does it directly kill anyone. Yet the Congressional Task Force on EMP reported over a dozen years ago that 9 out of 10 people in America would be lost within the year due to societal collapse as a result of that. I've repeated this many times, so I'm not going to go much further into that other than just to try to convey to you this is a very serious threat. Now, it could be, and they're talking over there that from Congress, Jake Sullivan, for example, has alluded to the idea that, well, it doesn't mean, they might use it against satellites, that they possibly, and that they wouldn't necessarily drop a nuke on Earth. Well, one burst over continental United States would do far more damage than if they actually dropped it on a city. We'd lose far more Americans. It'd be far more devastating. And an attack on our satellites, though not as direct and might not escalate to a nuclear war, at least initially, would be devastating to the United States because we are so reliant today on satellites that you wouldn't believe. Do you realize that when you type in Google Maps and go down the road, it's using the GPS signal that's going to your phone? It relays it also through the cell phone network and the computers and other things. So you're like tied in so many different ways. They track everywhere you go with these, and the system knows it. That's how it's able to track you with Google Maps. Very pinpoint accuracy, I might add. But think about Starlink. See, the Russians have already threatened that they might have to do something about Starlink because they allege how the Ukrainians are using Starlink for guidance of their weapon systems and things like that. But an attack against these satellites, if it was just the satellites, would be a huge threat to our economy, our information. Who knows how many of our critical systems here in the United States and bank into other areas would be affected by taking out this major leg of our communications. Now, the primary target, if it's satellites, would be low Earth orbit satellites. Although it might get to geosynchronous satellites too, because we're talking about 200,000 volts per meter from Russian EMP superweapons, which the Russian generals actually revealed to Dr. William Graham after the wall fell. He was even at one time served as a acting NASA administrator. He is considered to be one of the nation's foremost nuclear Russian weapon experts and also a top expert in the field of electromagnetic pulse. So he took that very seriously, briefed that, and put it in the congressional record years ago. Now, my friends, let me explain that if you want to just take out satellites, the only way you can do that without disturbing land areas is to do it over the ocean. So maybe over the Pacific Ocean or over the Atlantic Ocean, because low Earth orbit satellites go around Earth every 90 minutes. And in doing such, you could take out major sections of that fleet by detonate an explosion over the ocean. It wouldn't take out necessarily all the satellites. It'd take out all of them that were in line of sight of the explosion, including probably a good number of geosynchronous satellites too, as the line of sight going up into space broadens out due to, there's limitations due to the curvature of Earth, my dear flat Earth friends. Just like there's limitations with how far your radio frequency will travel. Same rule. Anyway, same distance, the same rule. I've shown the calculations on that stuff, and it applies. It's curvature of Earth that limits how far radio signals go. That, and of course, you can get skip off in the ionosphere too, but that's a whole another matter. So, my friends, this is something that can definitely affect us if they take out our satellites. The United States would respond in some fashion, and you can expect that things could escalate from that point. The fact that there's some intelligence that says the Russians are wanting to do this. We don't know that they haven't already done it. Russia has more nuclear weapons than any nation on Earth. They are the ones that developed those EMP super weapons. It's claimed that we never had a program to do such thing ourselves. And it's also claimed that they gave this technology to, yes, the North Koreans by Russian generals on the Wallfield, reporting straight to Dr. William Graham. So this is as reported in the congressional record many moons ago. So this is recorded. It's not classified. The knowledge is out there about these EMP superweapons, the field effects of them, and what they can do. So just bear in mind that, Sullivan was, Jake Sullivan said, well, it could just be satellites. And he also went on to add that Americans understand there's a range of threats and challenges in the world that we're dealing with every single day. I'm confident that President Biden and his decisions that he is taking is going to ensure the security of the American people. Maybe our biggest security threat to date has been at our border. What's he done for that? So, my confidence somewhere is not as great as his. And he further went on to say, I reached out earlier this week to the Gang of Eight, referring, talking about the leaders, as I said, in both chambers of the Congress, the House and the Senate, the Intelligence Committees. He says to offer up myself for a personal briefing. And in fact, we scheduled a briefing for the 4 House members and the Gang of Eight tomorrow. And then he went on to say, so I'm a bit surprised that Congressman Turner came out today. Well, the reason Congressman Turner came out is he realized the gravity of the threat. He was very alarmed by this announcement, and rightfully so. So, in any event, guys, furthermore, in case you don't know, the Chinese, with their little space plane, set free 6 satellites of undetermined nature. We don't know what they were recently. And on top of that, North Korea is now got 3 working satellites in orbit. There was a KMS-32, which was launched back in 2013, which overflew Washington, D.C. for the first time the very same day that there was a strange, looks like dry run practice hit on the Metcalf substation near San Jose. It's just kind of interesting how coincidental those 2 events were. Maybe that shows that it was tied to threats against the power grid. That's a possibility you can't rule out. Also, given that at the same time, the North Koreans had the Changchun-gang tramp steamer running around in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea with 2 fully erect missiles and missile launchers and also shipping containers, which they tried to conceal and hold in a cargo hold. Once they discovered they couldn't go around the tip of South America, Cape Horn, and had to go through the Panama Canal, they buried it under, tons of sugar bags, but it was still found. So, guys, the 1967 Outer Space Treaty outlaws nuclear weapons in space. But what are you going to do to Russia if they put them up there? Are you going to put sanctions on them? We've already sanctioned Russia to the hilt, and guess what? Their economy is strong in spite of all that. So, what are we going to do? Declare war on them? Not unless they use them, most likely, and use them. And what would our president do? What would Sleepy Joe do? I don't know, guys. But Jake Sullivan is just highly confident that he'll provide security for the American people. How secure do you feel? I'd like to see comments below about just how secure you feel about all of this. Our grid is at risk, and it's far bigger than just this. I will go live tonight on Swivelhead News. I'll talk more about this, and also breaking news from Iran. Oh yeah, breaking news from Iran, because Iran says they got all the components now. All they got to do is put them together for a nuke. So, guys, the tensions are going off the charts worldwide right now. The prospects for our grid going down from many different avenues are all too great. If you're not getting ready, I don't know what you're doing. See my links below for Prep with Greg. You better consider some emergency food supplies real fast while it getting's good. We got a special there right now for a 2-week supply with $60 off. So check out Prep with Greg and link below. And all I can say is be ready. We are in a world of hurt. I've just seen some new intel today about threats from drones. Oh my gosh. And you consider all the sleeper cells that's in this country. Oh my gosh, guys. It's off the charts. It's off the charts. You better get ready. Things could get ugly fast. I said could. I make no predictions on this channel except, well, if we don't do anything, the sun will get our grid eventually. That we know. That's the one prediction I made. If we do nothing to harden this grid, and I've chaired 2 power grid defense conferences, the sun will get us. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. I've been pushing hard for this for years. And the only other prediction I've actually made is that the food prices would go up. I was saying it years ago. Guess what's happened? Oh, yeah. So this is a threat. It's a real threat. It's a credible threat. And with all the tension in the world, all these stuff going on, it could happen anytime from any number of sources. So get ready. Be prepared, my friends. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Let's take it serious. Waste no time. The time for procrastination is over. Well, that I want to say, eyes wide open and head on a swivel. Join us tonight for a live session on my channel, Swivelhead News. With that, Greg out.